Gen Zs. Gen Zs. They call you woke. The trophy generation. Sometimes they call you lazy. Your digital natives always attached to your phone. Gamers with no social skills, but a ton of social media skills. You work differently. You do things differently. In the workplace, you're there for 6 months, and then you ask for promotion. And then even more, you turn around and say, I'd love unlimited vacation time. But you're the generation of work-life balance. It's really important to know that. And then, even more, you turn around and want to start or join social causes like climate change, racial adversity, and police brutality. You're what they call Gen Z. I'm Mark Zides, and I'm the CEO of CoreAxis. We build learning and talent management programs for all types of companies like Thermo Fisher Scientific, Amazon, Bank of America, Dell. And these new hire and onboarding programs are all meant to deliver training to you when you enter the workforce. In the last 25 years, what we've learned is that your generation and the class that you're coming into these organizations are different. And I hate to say this, but you're not prepared. And to be honest, it's not your fault. And if I'm being truthful, I'm actually part of the problem. Because your parents and guardians wanted to take care of you and coddle you and love you when you were growing up. They wanted to protect you. But did we protect you too much? Did we do too much to not prepare you for the challenging world that we're all in now? It's really difficult in the marketplace. And what's happened is, based on everyone's upbringing, and I'm generalizing, you haven't been given the opportunity to fail. And a lot of this is based upon the way we raised you, us parents, guardians. We set up playgroups. We set up things that were totally organized. We made sure that you all could be successful in your young lives. Guilty as charged. Everyone got a trophy. My 3 great kids they're there with their trophies. You all had tutors and coaches and extra help more than any other generation has in the past. And now we're in a capitalistic world that is very challenging to be successful in. So we didn't give you the opportunity to fail. But you know what? You don't have to fail yourselves. What your generation brings to the market and to the world is incredible. Incredible. Empathy. A lot of us can learn a lot more about empathy. Trust me. Equality, collaboration, work-life balance. Those are all traits that are unreal and should be honored. That said, there are workplace gaps. Gen X values grit. And Gen X are the leaders and the CEOs of these companies who are hiring all of you. It's important to recognize that. We work with all different types of companies, get feedback all the time. Why do Gen Zers do this? They come across as lazy. They're work-life balance, but they ask a lot of questions, and it's difficult to work with them, and I don't understand how to motivate them. All this. It's okay, because you own your own destiny. You want to stand out. There's a stereotype that's out there. And you want to actually make sure that you are doing whatever you can to make yourself better every day and better than everyone else. Start with your LinkedIn. What do you think it says if your LinkedIn profile doesn't match your resume? These hiring managers and leaders in these organizations are looking for people that have their social and personal brand set up in a professional way. Have you ever Googled yourself? I did the other day. I came up pretty clean. All my party photos are down, and I'm happy about that. But what do you think hiring managers do when your resume shows up in their inbox? They check you out. They're trolling the internet to see what they can find about you. Make sure your social media profiles are buttoned up. Make sure like I said, your LinkedIn profile matches your resume. What does it say about you if you have photos, party photos, or inappropriate beach photos on your resume? It's just, or I'm sorry, on your social profile, that has to be clean. Couple of things. With respect to your social presence, headshot has to be a professional headshot. It might sound simple, but it's the first impression is a lasting impression. Cover letter. When you send cover letters out to companies, make sure they're customizable. Don't just send a generic cover letter. If you customize it for every company you go for a job, it means something. Research. Do your research. Figure out what a company's values are, what their goals are, what their mission statement is, and make sure it aligns with yours. If your goals and values don't align with the company's, don't waste your time or theirs. Interview. Prep for the interview. Do a mock interview. Video yourself. Check your posture, eye contact, all important things. Thank you notes. Everyone loves a thank you note. Send a thank you note to everyone you interview with. And you know what? If you want to be different, send a video thank you note. I love getting those. Again, we hear it all the time. This generation is much different than everyone else. For the first time, about 5 years ago, all 4 generations are in the workforce together. Gen Z all the way to baby boomers. I'm Gen X, and the millennials, they think they're better than Gen Zs. It's kind of funny to hear the feedback. But everyone has to get along together in the workforce. So when you go for a job or figure out where your career is, you have to figure out what your priorities are. Is it work-life balance? Is it virtual workplace? Is it the values of the company? Figure it out and then advocate for yourself when you go for that job. Yes, I'm talking about you. Not all of you, but think about it for a minute. Might be someone next to you, might be somebody else. But the perception that's out there and the stereotype is not positive, and it's not your fault, like I said. But you have to debunk that stereotype when you get into the workforce. So whatever you can do to think about what you can do to stand out and be different, just do that. Here's a few things. Some data, some feedback from all the companies that we work with. The 3 things that people believe that could slow you down or hinder you from having the best career ever is lack of urgency, the inability to deal with conflict, and lack of agility. Lack of urgency. Simple. Get it done. Work hard. Do whatever it takes to stand out. Make your boss look good. Collaborate. Urgency equates will. Inability to deal with conflict. This is a tough one. It's probably not your fault because you didn't deal with conflict a lot of times when you were younger. So it didn't translate when you came into the workplace. So in this situation, you have to be a good listener. You have to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. You have to be able to look someone in the eye and figure out what the issue is and move toward a common cause or a common solution. Lack of agility. Agile is a word overused, but you know what? When you're in the workforce, you got to move, you got to pivot, you have to actually make things happen. You have to know when you go into a situation that there's different experiences, different biases, different people have different opinions. So you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes to kind of figure out what it takes to move forward. We understand, parents, recruiters, hiring managers, that it's a lot tougher now than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you didn't need a master's degree to get a job. You didn't have to get an internship your junior year in college to build your resume. I don't have a master's degree. I don't have an MBA. But what it takes in today's workplace is that you have to actually outwork everyone else. And you have to debunk the stereotype. You are the generation of change, and you know that. So bring it to the table. Use your superpowers. You're curious. You're authentic. You seek impact. Bring your curiosity to work every day. Push the envelope. Use your technology. Challenge people. You're authentic. Authenticity is incredible. Continue to push that. Force these companies to think differently, hire differently, do things differently, and seek impact. Be a trailblazer at work. Make change. Be a difference maker. Think about the people you admire. What do they have? What do they have that you admire about them? Athletes, CEOs, social justice leaders, performers. Let me guess. Grit, determination, perseverance. Those are all traits and characteristics that leaders in these organizations are all looking for. And you all have it. So bring it to the table. So, do you want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Do you want to be the next social justice warrior who saves the world? Do you want to invent the next life-saving drug? Who do you want to be? Think about it. Tonight, go home, think about it. Make mistakes, fall down, get up, think again. Learn something new every day. Decide who you want to become and become it. Thank you.